Hello and welcome back to the PG13 podcast. My name is Dhaniah and here are my hosts Jun Ze, Mr. Tan and Zheng Kai.
Yay! Woo!
Ooh, let's go.
I believe this is
Let's
the
go.
first time we are doing a teacher-student podcast in a long time. The last
No,
one was with Mr. Aaron.
That wasn't even that long ago.
That was last
Probably
year.
like
That was last
3
year.
months,
Last year
3
felt-
months max.
Felt like
3
a long
months.
time ago.
Yeah.
In 3 months, I was like 14, and now like 15.
My first time on the set.
Yeah. With Zheng
Yes.
Kai's first time.
What's up?
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Let's
everyone.
go.
Yeah.
Woo.
So must bring in more Sec 2s onto the show next time.
More
Okay,
set
all
two.
on you, all on you. Okay. Yeah, so what are we going to talk about today?
We're gonna talk about the conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
Let's go.
Very hot topic.
I love controversy.
Yeah,
Let's go.
very
Yes, we all love
Oh,
controversy.
controversy.
Let's go.
We love war.
I love.
As a history teacher, I'm very concerned when you say you love wars. Okay, anyway, so I think many of our listeners here will have some awareness about the ongoing crisis in Ukraine. But for the listeners who haven't been reading the news or been living under a rock, okay, so what happened was around in February, Russia started formally invading this country called Ukraine, which is in Eastern Europe. Okay, and people around the world saw this coming for a long time because back in 2014, Russia already annexed or occupied a part of Ukraine called the Crimea region. Okay, so and Russia and its leader Putin has been eyeing the rest of Ukraine for a long time. According to him, he said he does not want to conquer Russia. He just wants to get rid of the current government in Ukraine, which he thinks is not friendly to Russia. Okay, so the war is still ongoing as we are recording this podcast, and we don't know exactly what the outcome will be like. But maybe I'll just start off by asking the rest of you, what are your thoughts when you all first heard the news that a big country like Russia actually invade the Ukraine? Jun Ze?
All right. To be honest, I was like really surprised because like when I first heard about it, I just had my I just had my maths exam, so I was really surprised when I searched on YouTube.
You're surprised with your maths exam or what?
No, with the results. The result is like the declaration of war.
Oh, okay.
I was really surprised because to be honest, I wasn't really keeping up with like the current news because I was focused on exams. But like,
Yes.
like
Well done. Well
yeah,
done.
very good. So it's like it was my first time hearing about the war. I was like really surprised because even if I knew like there was some controversy there, I didn't really expect Russia to actually attack because I feel like they know like the consequences of them attacking, being a superpower with nukes and like Ukraine wanting to join NATO with America, which also have nukes. So like even if I knew, I didn't really expect. So like I was like really surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, very surprised. Were you surprised by your maths exam result? Less.
Less surprised. I was like,
Okay, Zheng Kai, what about you? What were your initial thoughts when you first heard the news?
It wasn't surprising. I mean, for long, Ukraine has a strained relationship with Russia. Then after that, they decided to like seek membership into the NATO alliance. So Vladimir Putin was. So I know that Vladimir Putin was quite angry about this. So I think he ultimately decided that no other options was the best, and that only invasion could stop them from applying to the NATO alliance.
Okay. Dhaniah,
Persuasion didn't help, bro.
which one persuasion didn't help?
Persuasion didn't help.
What do you mean?
I remember like I read the news, right? Then it said that Ukraine's president like sent some kind of message,
Mm-hmm.
like a heartfelt message or something. My friend was telling me about it, and then it ended up not working.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
okay.
like a burglar someone robbing you already, and you try
I
to
said, don't rob my house.
talk common sense, try to convert the robber into your
Putin
friend.
is like a very hard. It's a very hard person to like change his opinion on.
No,
Yeah.
because he's like a former KGB agent. So I think he's been taught about.
What's a KGB agent for those
What's a
of
KGB
our
agent?
listeners who don't know?
Oh, KGB was a former sort of like how do I say, those type of like spy organizations back when it was under the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Then Vladimir Putin was actually working back as a KGB agent before the Soviet Union fell.
Yeah. So why do you say he wouldn't be easily persuaded
Because
because of his role?
Because back during the Soviet Union, I think when they dissolved, Putin ultimately saw the US and the rest of the world as those type of not friendly people, not so friendly. So he knew that he had to play his tracks carefully.
Yeah, so there's a lot of historical animosity between the countries, right? So that's why you're not surprised. What about you, Dhaniah? I heard you got some interesting found some interesting reactions online when you heard this news.
Oh my god. Yeah. You know, like, nowadays, you know, all the world leaders have Instagram and everything. Then, like, whenever, like, news about Ukraine and Russia pop up on, like, TikTok, I always see that those comments, right? Those very cringy comments. They'll be like, Vladdy, oh my god. And then they'll put, like, no war please with a bunch of, like, cringe emojis and everything. And just, like, making a big joke out of everything, lah.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's, like, a very serious issue. Honestly, like, in my opinion, I really feel like they shouldn't do that because I feel like that might be a push for, like, Putin to do something.
So you are
'cause I
thinking
feel like,
you
you
are
know-
thinking Putin got triggered by the social media post.
No, I say it's a possibility. Cause, like, they're making fun of him, what?
Yeah.
I think like the reaction is sort of like was sort of like encouraged by like Ukraine government also, because before this Ukraine had a Twitter account which like they posted a lot of memes about the Crimean crisis, you know.
Yeah.
So they'll just have one meme where they'll just like head trauma or what, then there's like head pain, headache, and then like there was one that's really just like living next to Russia, like head pain or something.
Yeah.
So I think it's like kind of encouraged by Ukraine for this reaction. But I feel like you can't really blame the generation, because like our generation really likes to make fun of things.
When you can't get over your trauma, you make fun of your trauma.
It's like our way to cope with situations. You know?
They can
Yeah.
literally make fun out of anything.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a like good side of this, because like it's spread, because like with all of this, it spread awareness about the situation and how like and how we can like help Ukraine in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So it's not entirely bad, like this situation.
yeah, and
And
we are,
personally, like, some, like, you know how we just had LSP week and some other things.
come tell us what you
like-
learn in LSP.
We are talking about UK and Russia. Thank you very much.
Okay, come carry on.
So, like, whenever, like, we go to, like, learning journeys, all my friends will be like, last learning journey before Russia bombs SG, last supplementary class before SG gets bombed.
Oh, but seriously, do you think Russia will Singapore will actually get embroiled in this?
I mean, they're so kaypoh, maybe.
Honestly, not lah. I feel like Russia doesn't really have a reason to come here, because like, we are pretty far away, and like we're not really like directly
Yeah.
like we're not threatening them. So like,
Yeah, so
Pretty
speaking
good.
of Singapore being so-called kaypoh, right? You all know how Singapore, when this invasion happened, right? How did Singapore reacted to this Russia's actions?
We quickly imposed sanctions on Russia and blocked exports for several items that can be used as a weapon
Yeah.
inside the world.
Yeah,
To
and
people who don't know what sanctions are, explain.
yeah, what
Because
are
I'm not a
sanctions?
history student, I take geography.
I'm not a POA student, so no what's sanctions.
okay, then let this teacher explain.
Oh.
Okay, so sanctions are basically some sort of economic punishment. So the assumption is countries, they like to trade with each other. They like to buy things from one country, like, you know, your raw materials mainly, and you like to sell things to another country to earn more revenue. So by imposing some sort of economic sanction, Singapore will sell less things to Russia, and some Russian business might feel the pain from this. So it's meant to make
Like,
Russia
hurt
feel
the economy.
hurt their economy a little bit lah. But like Singapore is really very small, and I think Russia is definitely not our main trading partner. But it's also to send a message lah. But speaking of kaypoh, right? So do you all think Singapore was very kaypoh when we did this?
I think a bit too kaypoh.
Why do you
Yeah.
say that?
Because this is a event that's between the Russian, the European, and Russia and the European.
We are
But
Asians.
Some countries are,
Yeah, proud Asians.
Asian.
We're Asians. We're not
but some
Westerns.
countries that they decided that, oh, you know, this is an invasion, and we're gonna start condemning you. We're gonna start condemning you. But actually, they shouldn't be too involved, because this doesn't relate to them too much, so they shouldn't be too that involved inside this entire war.
Yeah, but so are there any like costs
Yeah.
for Singapore getting so involved?
I feel like Singapore like condemning Russia is like a good thing, because like because even though we're not part of it, we need to send a message to like the Russian to the government like we need to send a message that like invading another sovereign nation is not good. Like no matter what is not good. So I think we should like, I think this direction is a good thing. It also shows like it shows everyone that like Singapore will not stand for this, like no matter what, even if it's like not our business, we stand for justice on. So like I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. Yeah.
But you all know that by Singapore, besides having the sanctions, we also voted with the majority of the UN countries at the recent resolution on the aggression on Ukraine. So we voted with the majority of country in a sense condemning the invasion. And just some quick facts. So most of the countries supported this resolution. That means they condemn Russia. Of course, there are a few countries that are against it. Obviously, Russia being one of them. As well as some of Russia's traditional allies like Belarus, North Korea.
I think 5 of them were against.
Yeah, and there were some notable countries that were neither for or against, like China and a few others. Okay, you're going to Google yourself. I can't remember. Okay, so the Russian actually had some sort of took some sort of revenge action against us. You all heard about that?
Yeah. We're not part of the unfriendly list of countries.
And what does that mean for us?
That means I think it's like if a Russian Russian company wants to have business with us, they must have permission from the government.
Yeah, so Singapore wants to make life difficult for some Russian business. So Russian government wants to make life difficult for some Singapore business also.
Yes.
Yeah, so but you're right I think you're absolutely right to say that we need to send a message, because from what I read, right, Singapore in its short history, okay, not short, our 50, 60 years of nationhood, right?
NT 60, let's go.
we very seldom impose what we call unilateral sanctions. That means we impose sanctions. We took initiative to impose sanctions. Usually, Singapore impose sanctions when other people sanction us first.
Yeah.
So the last time that we did this was only against Vietnam, when Vietnam invaded Cambodia, like sort of illegally lah. So this is really quite a big step for Singapore, and really says a lot about how Singapore values sovereignty lah. So, but sending a message is one thing lah. What if touch wood, if this something happen like this in the future next time? Do you think can Singapore handle such a thing? What if our neighbours, I don't know which neighbours I'm talking about, but what if our neighbours one day decide to come knocking on our doors and say, actually, historically, we are kind of the same territory under this big empire, the kingdom. What do you think will happen?
I wonder what country you're talking about.
Huh?
I wonder what country you're talking about.
Dhaniah, which country are we talking?
Malaysia is our closest neighbor.
Okay, ask our Malay girl here. So if Malaysia want Malay,
just across the
This
continent.
is racially motivated.
Racially motivated.
okay, so let's say your let's say Malaysia one day decides, actually, hey, I like your this little piece of land. We used to be part of the same territory, right? Federation of Malaysia. So do you think Singapore is ready for such a thing if it ever happened to us?
Probably.
Why?
Because we're talking about like Malaysia. Okay, not to sound like
Why you sound like you're talking?
not to sound rude, okay?
Throwing Malaysia under the bus.
You sound like
Not to sound rude.
you sound like you're saying Malaysia is weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, from like a STEM viewpoint, right? You look at like the differences between like Singapore and like Malaysia. Singapore is like much more developed. And then Malaysia is like less developed.
Yeah.
Then like there are cases where you call ambulance, police, then they take like 1-2 hours to come.
Yeah.
And compared to like Singapore, like it only takes like a few minutes.
So if they call the missile strike, the missile only strike 1 hour later.
No lah, it's just like I feel like if Singapore does go against like Malaysia, I feel like it wouldn't be that big. Like the problem wouldn't be that big.
Yeah.
Unless we're going against like USA or something lah, then that's obviously
I don't
more
think
worse.
USA will want to attack us.
Yeah, but
we
it's
are best
also
friends.
it's also like the Russia Ukraine. Currently, Ukraine really is holding up quite strong, putting a very dogged defense against
seems like
Russia.
more Russian, the Russian soldiers are more more faster kill as compared to the Ukraine.
Yeah, and we see a lot of the videos online, right?
And
The
some of them
Russians,
being
they.
caught, calling back
I was
home.
reading a joke online. They say the Ukraine farmers stole so many Russian tanks that Ukraine farmers are now the 5th largest military in Europe. Okay, obviously it's a joke. But I think every serious person who knows the politics will know that at the end of the day, Russia is really a very big country, and I think it's very normal for them to feel like Ukraine really don't stand a chance on its own. And you all know how the other countries are reacting to this? Like, do you think is it wrong for them to not get involved? So for some background, so a lot of countries definitely have condemned this invasion. USA, the countries in the EU, in NATO, which are Ukraine's immediate neighbours, they condemn, they give a lot of sanctions, but short of actually sending troops to fight. Some of the countries even send weapons, but not troops.
Sent 5,000 helmets to Ukraine.
Yeah,
I
so
was reading it, then I was wondering, why are you sending helmets instead of sending soldiers? Yeah, I saw one TikTok joke. It was about this as well. Then they were saying these helmets are really powerful.
Yeah, but
the ammo already just throw the helmet at the soldier.
Yeah, but you must understand. So it really shows that countries really today they really mind their own business.
It's like they want to help, but at the same time they don't want to help.
Yeah, like
we help you.
They will do like the bare minimum.
They want to help without being hurt themselves.
Yeah, imagine you lose a few soldiers and you have to write the letter to the fallen soldiers' parents, say sorry, your son or daughter has died fighting for Ukraine, another country, and we are very sorry for your loss. As a parent, I think I'll be very angry also, like, this is not our business, why we go and send troops there, right? So back to Singapore, right? Like, I think other countries may send a lot of helmets to us. But
one for every citizen.
One for every citizen.
We're good to go.
Maybe they might sanction our neighbors a lot, but at the end of the day, maybe we might still have to end up defending ourselves. Yeah, that's why in school we keep talking about all the total defense.
Yeah. One nation, one Singapore.
Let's go.
Yeah, welcome to the new PG13. The P stands for propaganda.
Singapore number one.
Singapore number one.
Propaganda for government 13. Okay, PG13. Okay, so so maybe we can wrap up. I think that we really know from this episode that it's very important to defend ourselves. Okay, so not just the traditional sense like guys doing national service. So thank you, Jun Ze. Thank you, Zheng Kai. Okay, thank you, Ameer, who's behind the scenes. It's also everyone, maybe Dhaniah want to sign on, join SAF, join police force. Who knows?
No worries. Now they're also accepting female.
No, thank you.
Yeah, pays well, you know.
I can barely run. I can barely run, okay?
Yeah, and Ameer, Dhaniah is obviously fully equipped.
Fully equipped with my slippers. With my hashtag Bruce toe.
Yeah, so Bruce toe. So Dhaniah is willing to get injured for the country. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so yeah, so I think to wrap it up, right? So it's not just military defense, I think if you look at Ukraine, the soldiers definitely are putting a big fight, but psychological defense, the Ukrainians are banding together.
They're really like proud of being Ukrainian and they want to protect their country. I'm very like I'm really, what's the word?
Moved, heartfelt.
I'm very moved by their you know by
their connection to the country.
Their connection to the country and like how they want to protect their country. Even if they can't fight, they'll stop the Russians from coming.
Yeah.
I saw online like they're painting the road signs. They're painting their own signs to throw the Russians off from getting to like the
very smart.
Yeah. Intelligence. But I feel like we should also be like very grateful that, you know, instead of, you know, like, because we have like all these like countries meeting up to talk instead of just them taking action. Like imagine if like they don't have like votes and anything. Like Russia can just come in and just bomb Ukraine without warning. Because I feel like having like all the countries vote is something that we should appreciate also lah.
Yeah.
Because without this, right, I think the world like is probably gonna be like completely barbaric.
Yeah, they might even get more
Aggressive.
bolder. At least scolding is better than no scolding. Right.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah lah. So to our audience, we hope whatever you are, how old you are,
Donate, but don't donate to the wrong websites. Do not get
so
scammed.
if you want to support Ukraine in their ongoing struggle, so obviously we heard of a lot of interesting stories of other countries. They want to volunteer, fly there and fight for Ukraine. Even Russia is recruiting people from like Syria to fight for Russia. So, but as our government say lah, we do not encourage our citizens flying to a war zone, and because it's very it's very complicated. Okay, and
At least you can become a war veteran, you know.
you want to be okay.
No lah.
Okay, we say.
No,
say
don't want.
you go now.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, when you grow older, right, you can.
I
I throw at them, Confirm perfect aim, bro.
So as I was saying, if you like to support Ukraine, I think besides spreading awareness on social media to our family and friends, if you have the means, you can also contribute financially lah. So I know there are not just recovery, it's also for humanitarian aid. So because we know the war is not just fought between soldiers, the civilians, they suffer a lot in the process, especially Ukrainian citizens.
Housing was also destroyed.
Yeah, so if we would like to do a small part in helping these humanitarian efforts, there are a lot of Singaporean organizations that does this, like the Singapore Red Cross. But in doing so, we also encourage you to do your research carefully. Don't get scammed. Because time like this, a lot of people like to do fundraising, and the fund goes into.
Some of them actually they don't go to helping, but they actually go to the
Yeah, so do your research carefully. I think this is part of digital defense, and
Check the site properly.
Do your research before donating.
who knows? Maybe who knows how the crisis will really end. I think we can only wish them all the best. Yeah.
Good luck. Break a leg.
Ukraine. Go like Ukraine.
Alright. If not, thank you for listening to us. This has been it's a very serious episode, but I think
We still had our fun.
we are very happy to share with you.
Vladimir Putin. Woo!
Censor that part off. Okay. So you have been listening to I'm Mr. Tan, and with me we have
Dhaniah.
Zheng Kai.
And this has been PG13. Okay, so see you at our next episode. I need to like, subscribe, and share
Please
this
watch
with
our
all
other
your
episodes.
friends.
Yes, please watch our other episodes. They are
Yes.
also very good.
Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Your support means everything to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make us influencers.
Alright, I think that's
We
it.
love all of you guys. We love all of you.
We love our viewers. Sarajevo.
Okay. Alright, thank you for supporting this podcast. Okay, we see you at the next episode.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time. Bye bye.